sculpture that is 16 feet high and very typical of a certain aspect of Mark's work, where he starts out with his heavy steel that he's actually doing the bending and heating up and twisting and welding on with the central I-beam in this particular piece. Dedicated to Chris Wilmart. He's a close friend of Mark's and an artist who died several years ago. This is from 1991, and it's really more of a memorial sculpture with the bell, and please help yourself and ring it and interact with it. And was ringing all the time at Storm King, and it will be at Governor's Island starting tomorrow. And Chris Wilmart had a studio in Brooklyn, not far from Governor's Island, actually, and from Pier 6, where people catch the Brooklyn Ferry, which is 3 minutes away from Governor's Island, basically. And he did sculptures out of steel and glass. He became particularly well known for that. And Mark collaborated on sculpture with Chris Wilmart. And so this is really dedicated to Chris after he died. And many sculptures will have different elements, that bells or moving elements on the di Suveros as we go around to Picnic Point. There's a swing on one sculpture, and the moving elements, which is typical for, and the Storm King pieces have large I-beams suspended on cables, and he was make it reflective with the sun, and it's reflective of all different weather conditions, but shows you the size and the weight of the stainless steel that he's cut, and the difficulty of cutting and welding, which he's capable of doing at his studio.
And here's another spot where the vistas from close to far are intriguing as the sculptures play off of one another. This one is called She, 1977 to 78, and it has the advantage of being a swing, which can be precariously used to take photographs, apparently. Let's see how he gets down from here. Well, maybe not. Yes. And here's some more adventures in interactive sculpture. You can actually swing this onward mega piece of metal. And here's another view of it, with a lot of journalists around. And a lot of cement mixer noise, taking away from the idyllic atmosphere. And here's probably the nicest vista that you're going to have in this installation. 3 monumental di Suveros in a row, right along the harbor. And if you look down there, you'll see another sculpture, Statue of Liberty. If you look closely at this sculpture, Mahatma, you'll see it move slightly in the breeze. So a lot of these sculptures, massive as they are, have a moving component that lightens them in some way. This movement is slow, but if you look at the tree on the right, you can see that it is going slightly up and down. And here's another moving sculpture, Figaloo. Sometimes when the wind is just right, you'll see those balls move a bit. And I'm starting to get the feeling that part of the reason that certain of these pieces were chosen is for either interactivity or movement in the breeze, and we certainly get a good breeze coming off the water. And again, there's the Statue of Liberty back there that you can peer at through the sculpture. This is a new sculpture just completed in 2011 from a private collection. And here is a closer look, and perhaps you can better detect the very gradual but perceptible movement of these three orbs. Actually, one feels a little bit endangered walking right next to them, as if they could descend upon you at any moment. But one thing we know is that these are pretty well engineered, and that's not going to happen. Okay. And sitting here on Figaloo, which is the sculpture we were just looking at, we have an excellent, perfect view looking out, well, of a man photographing at the moment, but also of the Statue of Liberty. This is a perfect vantage point to enjoy that view while sitting on a Mark di Suvero, and you are permitted to sit. They're going to touch up the paint a little. It's gotten a little bit marred. There's been a lot of rain out here while installation was going on. But again, it is a delightful show in a delightful location. I suspect it's going to be a pretty popular venue for them.
And then finally, Old Buddy for Roscoe, which was shown at Storm King Art Center in 1985. And can you stop for 1 second? Sure. This was named after Mark's faithful, wonderful dog, Roscoe.
And here's the final di Suvero in our trek through Governor's Island, the one that didn't make it. They all came on flatbed trucks like this, and this one, John Stern of Storm King said he believed this was the one that Mark di Suvero decided wasn't going to work anywhere. He scoured the island, and somehow this one didn't find a happy home, and so now it's, I guess, awaiting its departure. These things all came in by boat, by ferry, and I guess it goes back to Mark. And now it's back on the ferry from Governor's Island back to the tip of Manhattan as we bid the island farewell. And of course, part of the fun of going to Governor's Island